welcome to another episode of the Gamers Assemble podcast, the queer gaming podcast that nobody asked for, but we're doing it anyway. We're here
every
again.
time.
Yeah, we did it again. We've done another episode. We've been away for a while. We're sorry about that, but we're back. Don't worry, we've not gone anywhere. We're still doing it.
We're not allowed to go anywhere?
No, contractually. Yeah. We got in touch with Little Nasty X, and when he went down to see the devil in his music video, I got him to do like a contract with him, and then he brought it back up with him, and then you guys signed it, and therefore we're locked into this. Yeah. How are we all this evening?
Him. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I saw the sun.
The sun.
I saw the sun.
Out.
Oh, it came out twice in England so far this year, so I'm happy. That's twice more than I normally see it in this country.
Very true.
So already I'm happy. And I was allowed to see my friends for the first time since like October.
We're
and
finally
Boris
coming
Johnson
out of...
even allowed it.
I know, we're finally coming out of restrictions here in the UK. It's a slow road, but we're getting there.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see how long it lasts. I hope so.
Yeah. If you didn't know, this is a podcast and we talk about gaming stuff. We
Surprise!
Got a bit off topic already. Tonight's episode is going to be remake, re-release, or delete. So we've got a little spin wheel, and we've loaded it up with 21 games that are beloved by everybody here at Gamers Assemble. And we're going to spin them. Each host is going to get 3 games, and they're going to have to talk us through which category they're going to put that game into, whether it's going to get remade, so a complete remake from the ground up, current gen graphics, all that kind of stuff, quality of life improvements, the whole shebang. Whether it gets re-released, so it just gets put out in its current form and available to play on platforms, or whether it gets deleted forever. Never
from everything.
From everything. Like, there's no game preservation here. Once it's gone, it's gone.
This is Snog, Marry, Avoid.
Yeah, but with video games.
To the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I'll rock the mic like a vandal.
Oh yeah. Joining me in this arduous task is the one and only Botuus. Say hello, Botuus.
Hello, Beardy.
Hello. And of course, Llama. Ooh.
One day we'll nail that.
Yeah, one day. One day.
We won't.
That's your
We're not gonna nail
That's your
it.
intro from now on. So let's.
We should get better at it.
Yeah, we should take some time off stream to synchronize and harmonize and something else in a musical form.
No.
No, let's not do that.
No.
Shall we get this spin wheel thing running? Who would like to go first?
Do we have any housekeeping? We have housekeeping.
Oh yes, we do have housekeeping. Yes, well done for reminding me.
We need foreplay. You need to warm me up first.
Oh, yes.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to jump straight in.
Let me warm my hands up for the foreplay.
Old. You gotta get me ready first. Jesus.
Fingers up. So, housekeeping for you. The news roundup by yours truly will be back again this Friday. So make sure you check out that. We'll be going through all of the week's topics. We'll probably do a bit of a roundup episode because it's been a couple of weeks since we've done one, so it might be like the best stories from the last couple of weeks. And then, Mr. Botuus, when are we going to see the next episode of the D&D show? Rolling with Bot.
I don't know. We don't have anything on the schedule yet, but everyone had a great time doing it. So I think it's just trying to get all the schedules ready to go. With this being a holiday weekend for a lot of people, it didn't work out real well this weekend. But we'll have something on deck soon, and stay tuned on Twitter. I'm sure we'll be posting when we're going to do the next episode.
We had so much fun on the first one. Have we put it up on YouTube yet?
I've been working on the edit, so I've changed my edit setup. So I've gone from using my Mac to using my iPod. I treat myself to, so I'm still getting my head around the technicals of creating a video on my iPad, but it will be up soon.
Oh, it was super fun. I had so much fun. I sprinkled in a few video game references for you eagle-eyed viewers out there. So see if you can find them and tell us in the comments what they are.
See if you can find them.
See if you can do it. And that rounds up our housekeeping for this week, I think. There's nothing else really, is there?
I'm warmed. I'm ready.
You warmed
Moist.
up? Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
ready? Okay. Yeah. Who would like to be the first to go spinning on the wheel?
I'm nervous now. I don't. What if I get all my favorite games in the first one?
Okay, well, we're going to go with you then.
Fuck. God damn it.
For the viewers at home, you're going to be able to see the wheels spinning. And I shall let you know what your picks are. Spin the wheel!
Is that how it goes, like that?
Okay, so your first game is Super Mario 64.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Naughty Bear.
Oh, fuck.
Versus Gone Home.
Oh. Right. Okay. Okay, so
what are you gonna go for? Who's gonna be your remake?
So, first of all, that wheel is fucking amazing. That is awesome.
Our techno mage here.
I love that.
Our wheel.
Right? That's the best wheel ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think to totally redo the game, like from the ground up, like it's gotta be Naughty Bear. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, my wife made me swear that if it came up as a choice, I had to pick it today.
Okay.
I did tell her if it was a tough choice, I wasn't going to pick it, but I was going to tell her that I picked it.
Right.
Because she doesn't listen to the podcast and she wouldn't know any different.
Right.
And she accepted that as a valid choice. Yeah. And she's not even listening now, so she doesn't fucking know. So that's fine. But also, like, just, little fluffy fucking bears stabbing. Like, I'm just stabbing little bears.
Talk me through, what would the remake look like? What was your perfect vision of the remade Naughty Bear?
So it still needs to be, yarn stuffed bears. When they stab each other, there's no blood. We're not violent. I mean, we are, but there's no blood.
Right.
There's no gore. It's fluff that comes out because we're not fucking monsters. And like when you stab them in their face, the buttons on their eyes pop off. Like, this is childlike violence.
Yeah.
But it needs to be, like HD 4K ultra yarn.
Yeah.
Really see that stuff in.
Yeah, you need that HDR. Like,
make
sure they get the ray tracing on there. I want to see the shine on the buttons as they're spinning off the head. Like,
yeah. I would also really like it if there's a VR add-on.
Right.
I would like to be on Teddy Bear Island, stabbing the fuck out of these
with the knife.
Little bastards that didn't invite me to their picnic. Because why didn't they invite me to their picnic? I'm a nice bear, goddammit. I could have brought a toy or something to that damn bear's birthday party, but he didn't invite me.
I'd like to see some like Assassin's Creed style, the stealth mechanics of like hiding in the grass and maybe being able to sneak up and like
because those ninja bears, when you get further on in the game, they're fucking hard because they run faster than you can and you can't hide. You've got no stealth mechanic in the old game. So a stealth mechanic would be good, you're right.
Yeah.
And being able to run and jump, I like that. Yeah, I would like the VR, a first-person perspective option would be good as well, because it's sort of a top-down mode, really. So having like the first and third-person options, you could like jump in and out of. The VR perspective, I think that would also like have a bolt-on you could have for that would be awesome. But other than that, I wouldn't actually change too much of the gameplay itself because like some like David Attenborough-esque narrator going total defluffication as you run around the island stabbing bears.
I think it needs to be David Attenborough.
I think actually if you could just get David Attenborough to come down and record that would be fucking perfect.
Yeah, probably could.
I'm also imagining like like Doom 2016 in the first person mode, just kind of like really fast, kind of chaotic murder spree. Maybe they could add like a time trial into it or something.
That could be fun. The other option, if David Attenborough is not available, I will accept as not even as a close second, but as an interesting alternative first place, David Tennant with his actual Scottish accent, not with his
Okay.
pretend English accent or pretend American, but like David Scottish Tennant. I would accept that as well because he's kind of soothing and a little chaotic.
Yep. I was thinking Stephen Fry would be a good pick.
He would be good too.
Yep.
He would be quite good actually. Yeah.
Because I always used to love, he did the narrator voice in Little Big Planet, and I loved that.
I think
Oh, Fleabag. Oh, what's that? Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag.
Right.
Oh my Jesus fuck. I take it all back. I want Phoebe Waller-Bridge narrating it from Fleabag. Yes, please. I am sold.
Morgan Freeman.
That was going to be my other one. Morgan Freeman.
It needs to
The
be
voice of
British though. I
God.
need a British person doing it.
Yeah, true.
It just gives it that extra while I'm stabbing teddy bears. I don't know why. Makes me feel fancy.
I think it's that thing of like the British accent is made for documentaries.
And I need
That
to
was its
feel like
purpose in life.
I'm not just stabbing teddy bears. I'm doing it for science.
Queen and
Which,
country.
you know, I'm colonizing them.
Yep. I'd like to see some traps as well. Maybe you could build like bear traps or something.
Yes, punji boards.
Armor.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see teddy bears in armor. You know, I don't know why.
Maybe it could be a little
I
bit
could
like
deal with that.
like The Forest. I don't know if you played The Forest,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
where you like
Or
you're the teddy bear and you have to like build your own little area, little camp to build out, and then you go out and you scavenge and you kill the bears and bring back their stuffing and their yarn and everything else to craft more elaborate ways of taking down the teddy bears.
I would like to hunt down the other teddy bears while wearing the skin of their friends.
Yep.
Like just like Percy's face on mine as I'm chasing down the other ones.
This is a reminder the show is not for children.
We have marked it not safe for children.
It comes up.
haven't we?
It comes up saying, "Are you sure you want to watch this?"
Yeah.
We're not using my real name for this, are we? I go into work on Monday and they're like, "We need to have a word with you." You're fired.
HR is waiting for you.
You have some disturbing issues with teddy bears.
I love that game. It's so good. Just I don't know why it's so relaxing to stab teddy bears while David Attenborough narrates what I'm doing in a calm and cathartic voice, but it fucking is.
Yep. Sounds perfect to me.
So yeah, that is my remaster.
So Noiba is your remaster. Okay.
Yeah.
We just
And what are my other two?
you've got Mario 64 and Gone Home.
Okay, well, Gone Home is absolutely the re-release, and the answer around that is that you cannot touch perfection. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, make the audio better? No. Fucking Bikini Kill is perfection as is. You cannot touch that. It is amazing. Storyline, perfection. Graphics, they're what they're supposed to be. Perfection. The game is fucking perfect. You can't touch that. So I need like the parachute pants there. That's it. I tried to do the wrong shoulder because I'm an old person. So yeah, and Mario. Fuck Mario. I've never really got on with Mario. Delete him. Delete him. We already went over my theory about him being a communist. I don't.
So
all
sad.
them little peaceful flags and the little turtles and mushroom heads that he murdered. Princess Peach didn't need saving. She had her own shit handled. Fuck Mario.
He came in and disrupted the whole Mushroom Kingdom, if you think about it.
Right? They were fine. They were doing their due. They were vibing. He got all up in their business. I didn't like it.
I saw a really funny thing on, I think it was Twitter, and it was like Mario bursting through the door and being like, "It's a Peach, I've come to rescue you." And then Peach is sat there with Bowser having dinner, and she's like, "Mario, we've talked about this. Like, me and Bowser are married.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Like, we have a child. You know, like, you need to stop doing this. It's not okay anymore."
They need help.
Exactly. So yeah, delete Mario. Delete it. It's the game that launched 1,000 games. I get it. Delete it.
Done. Okay.
Strong feelings.
I have strong feelings about that. I tried to explain them entertaining way, but just fuck Mario.
I just keep having this image of Mario with the red hat, but with the communism, like the sword and sickle, or the sickle and hammer on the little button where he has the M usually. I can't get that on my
So
head.
communism on paper, like we should try it properly this time. Don't get me started on social structures.
Maybe they should make a game out of this. Like, you have a little Mario. You know how when he goes around the world, like the old school Mario used to headbutt the bricks and stuff, and it would like, release the coins and everything else. How about in this game, you're running around as Mario, and the world is communistic. You know what I'm saying? And as you run around the world and you beat the world up and you headbutt the bricks and everything else, you're turning it into just the same. Like every house, if you beat the house up, it turns into the same house. And like you just go around standardizing everything.
Just uniform it. That's scary.
What? And then you give like universal health care to everyone and universal basic income and
yeah, and then at the end you launch a nuke. At the end you launch a nuke.
To them fuckers that are charging you for basic necessities. I'm already on a list.
Right, but let's get you your 3 games.
Is it time for my spin?
It's time for your spin. Spin the wheel!
Vanna White over here.
Okay, first game is Half-Life 2.
Oh.
Okay.
Second game is Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
And your last game is Dead Space Trilogy.
Give me a second to think about that. Okay. So let's go right off. I'm gonna do I have to do them in order, or does we have to do?
No. You can do it in any order you wish.
So delete right away is just Half-Life 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off stronger because first of all, Half-Life 3 has been the constant cock tease for like a decade now, if I remember correctly. And B, I never played the games and I never cared. And the internet community seems to have a big hard-on for this game. And I never played any of it. And so I don't care. So it can go ahead and get deleted, though a lot of people really do seem to enjoy the Half-Life series.
No shit's good in
Screw you guys.
Yeah. Fuck this shit. Bin it.
Yep. So out with Half-Life 2. Yeah, done with that. They did release that kind of like third game that was with the VR and everything like that.
Oh, well, Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, but
it was like a sequel, but a prequel, but a pre-prequel or something. I don't know. I never played it.
Prequel.
Bin it. Garbage. So that's my delete. How do you guys feel? Did you guys ever play Half-Life 2 or 1?
I never played Half-Life, to be honest with you.
Awesome. So all of us here at Gamers Assemble can just say screw that game.
No feelings there.
Cool.
No feelings.
Easy peasy. All right. So I have the Dead Space Trilogy and Resident Evil 4. So the Dead Space Trilogy, I would have to say would be the one for the remaster.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was a great game, but the first one, the graphics are a little old, a little dated, and just a good like 6 months, year polish of a good team could clean that whole game up to be just absolutely amazing graphics and get you that same kind of scares again that like the Alien games do for you, Beardy, where you get those that heart pumping. Because that's what I had with the original Dead Space. I remember that, and I would like to see that again. I think it'd be a really great remaster. And I don't know, how old was the first one? That's got to be at least 15 years.
I feel like it's 2006 or something.
Okay, so about 15 years probably. Beardy Mage.
Original Dead Space released in... that didn't tell me what year it released. Aha! Oh! 2011.
Oh! Sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
But that's still 10 years ago.
Yep, still 10 years.
That would have been was that for Xbox 360?
So it came out originally on 360 and PS3.
So
and
I
Windows.
think that's a game ripe for remaster. I think 10 years is a good. They can bundle it all together to one trilogy like series.
No, Dead Space came out in 2008. Okay. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. It was the Dead Space mobile game thing that came out in 2011.
Attention to detail, Beardy.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. So, 2008, first game ripe for a remaster. They could re-release them all together in like one big. I'm sure there are people who would pay for a remastered trilogy of them, even if they was like $100 for the whole trilogy. People would buy them, especially if they were all sequential and the graphics were equivalent for all of them. It would be a big epic story. People like, we don't have not a lot of good space operas right now. I don't think like the big like Mass Effect was the last big space opera I remember that I really enjoyed. And
would you add anything to it? Would you add anything new?
Maybe just some new weapons, maybe some new bad guys, stuff that wouldn't really detract from the main storyline, but maybe flesh it out a little bit more.
I think out of the three of them, Dead Space 3 is the one that would probably need the most work in terms of story, because it was a bit of a letdown. The first and second one were very good kind of psychological horror scripts, but the third one went very action orientated. This is back in the day when EA was like, let's make everything online and action. Like, but the third one's like the third one's a bit shit. But I think I'd love to see it modernized. I know we've got the Callisto Protocol that's coming from the same guys that made Dead Space, so we're going to see a spiritual successor. But I definitely would like to see it all HD'd, 4K'd, ray tracy, like, because the jump scares still live up to it these days. I played Dead Space on stream a few weeks ago, and like every jump scare, I fell for it, like, and screamed like a little girl. So yeah, I think it's a great trilogy that should be remade.
What do you think, Llama?
I haven't played these games.
You'd enjoy them. I think so.
I have this thing, right, where I love a good sci-fi space opera. Scary games scare the shit out of me. And these are scary sci-fi space operas, so I haven't played them because I can tell from the cover they're gonna scare the shit out of me. And I was actually looking at them the other week because they're on Game Pass now. And I keep thinking, oh, I'll download that and play it. And then I just don't, because I still know they're going to scare the shit out of me. I haven't played them because I don't want to pee on my couch.
Yeah, that's fair. That's how I feel about the some of the old Fear first-person shooter games. Even like 10 years later, I'm not going to pick them up, because any game where I only got like 20 minutes in the game through my headset and was like, nope, I'm done. Like that's a game done for me. So I guess my re-release would be Resident Evil 4. It was a great game. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it, even with the older graphics. I think I played Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's where it came out originally.
4.
Yeah, that was a great game though. That was the one with the Plagos, I believe, where you were dealing a little bit more with that particular storyline, if I remember correctly. It's been years since I played 4. Yeah,
so you play as Leon Kennedy going into Europe as the president's daughter's been kidnapped, and you end up in like a little Spanish thing, Spanish area.
Yeah, that game still has lines from it that I still say to this day. Like, I'll joke about the dude who's the vendor that's in the game, and he's like, "What are you selling? What are you buying?" And he's always got, like, I remember getting a rocket launcher from him, and that made the game even more fun. It was some kind of explosive launcher. I remember blowing up the zombie thing.
He had the anorak moment where he'd be like, "You like the wares?"
Yep. And it was a good game. The whole saving the president's daughter was a pretty good storyline. If you played the original Resident Evils, you start to find out that it's like, it's not so much just like if I remember correctly, it's not just the undead coming back. It's these actual like parasitic science undead that are part of it, the whole Plagos storyline and stuff. And you find out some of what happened years before the original part of the storyline, some of the pre-information, I guess. So yeah, I think that's a really great game. I think it doesn't really need to have much done with it. A remaster would be great, but I think a re-release would still be pretty fun.
I'd delete it.
You delete it.
Yeah, I don't like
Oh,
Resident Evil 4. I think this is where the beginning of the end for me for the Resident Evil series, because then after that you got 5.
Really?
Yeah, they took it down more of an action route and it became super kind of like thing.
Which one was the one where they were in the Africa, I believe?
That was Resident Evil 5 when Chris is punching a boulder.
Now, I liked the graphics for 5, but I hated the storyline. Like, I started playing it and I actually didn't get very far or than a couple missions. Like, the graphics were gorgeous for a Resident Evil game, but the storyline couldn't capture me at all.
Yep. And then we got 6 after that, which was obviously a disaster where they tried to do like 4 different stories and just none of it paid off and it was horrible. And it brought the franchise to the point where it never returned. And it wasn't until Resident Evil 7 where they brought it back and it's actually good again now. So, yeah.
I just want to capture the beauty of that comment right there, Beardy.
What's that?
That 4 was the beginning of the end for you because after that came 5.
Yep.
It's just for me that was.
I think
perfection.
Your sentiment is shared by a large part of the internet community.
Well, to be honest with you, I think like other people see it as 5 being the one that was the downfall, but I see the roots. I see it there in Resident Evil 4.
I liked 4. 4 was great. It was, I mean, I don't know. I liked it, but maybe that's because that was the last Resident Evil I played. It was one of the few games that I actually completed the whole game. I got to do the escape sequence and stuff at the end. And so many games, I get 3/4 of the way through and then they sit on my shelf. And so I don't know. I got a little special place for Resident Evil 4. It was a good game, but yeah, everything after that never interested me. So I never really played much Resident Evil.
I'm really looking forward to 8. I want big titty vampire girl to stomp on me.
Ooh, yes, that's everybody.
Top me.
She's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want all of it.
You know, Beardy, you're gonna spin the wheel and you're gonna get Fallout, BioShock, and fucking New Vegas or something.
Probably, yeah.
It's time for your wheel spin.
It is time for my wheel spin. So let me just ready myself.
Come on, Vanna White.
Yeah. Spin the wheel. Okay, so my first game is Metal Gear Solid. Oh.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Ooh, you like
already...
Snake.
I know, it's just started with the good one as well. Second game is Baldur's Gate.
Oh, okay.
I think it's gonna be funny if he gets 3 good ones.
And then my last one is Half-Life. No, we've already had that. Spin it again.
Spin again.
Well, we've already had that.
Your wheel is broken, Beardy.
BioShock Trilogy.
Oh.
All right. Beardy.
Okay. I'm gonna start with my delete. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna start with my. So, my delete.
So what are your 3 games? So you got Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, Metal Gear Solid, and the BioShock trilogy.
That's
okay.
hard.
Yeah. I'm just writing in my little notes here. Refer back to this. So I'm going to start with my delete. We'll go with delete first. And it's a pretty easy decision, to be honest with you. It's going to be Bio... No, I'm not. No.
I will turn this off.
No, it's going to be Baldur's Gate. Because I've never played it, so I have no reference for it. I have no love for it. I have nothing for it. So I'm sorry if you're a Baldur's Gate fan out there, but it's just been deleted. You can never play it again. Sorry about it.
You just heard our D&D audience, because Baldur's Gate is like the D&D video game that started all the D&D video games.
It's gone. Sorry about it. So I'm gonna go with my re-release next. And I don't think it's gonna be much of a shock, to be honest with you, but it's gonna be BioShock Trilogy. because I think they still hold up pretty well to this day.
Yeah.
For just the re-release, or
Just to re-release it, just put it out as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Probably
still
good.
play them now, so
Yeah.
they're not bad.
When the first game still holds up graphically, like years and years later, and it still looks great, and the way that they like the designers drew it, you don't get pulled away from the graphics. Like, it doesn't seem out of place. Like, you could still shoot things in the environment and move around, and that was pretty big for a game at that time period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I
Games
think
as art.
they're great as they are, and I think they stand up so well because they were very stylized in their visual sense. So they weren't going for like photorealism or anything like that. So I think as you take them out of context and put them anywhere in a timeline, when it comes to video games, they will always look great to some degree. So yeah, which means my remake would be Metal Gear Solid. Of course it would be. I fucking adore that game. I would.
Now, you're talking the original one with like
Original PS1, the very
like
first
Psycho
game.
Mantis and all those and everything.
Yeah,
that would be
Sniper Wolf, Psycho Mantis, Raven, Ocelot.
Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Could you imagine a world, ladies and gentlemen? Could you imagine a world where we have the Xbox Series X and the PS5 with a 4K built from the ground up remake of Metal Gear Solid? It would just be, well, chef's kiss. That game is fantastic anyway. It's the game that launched Kojima's wonderful brand of crazy batshit stories, like
God,
and just to be able to see that in how it would be at the time. I just imagine, like, when they were making that game, like, they tried to make it the most cinematic thing that they could at the time, and I just think if you could do that again, recapture that magic, but in the way that they saw it in their heads. You know that thing of, like, sometimes you'll think back about a game and think that the graphics and stuff were amazing and so realistic and everything else, like lifelike, and then you go back and play and it's like, oh shit, I was wrong. Like, I want to see that game and the vision that they had when they were creating it, and I just think it'd be perfect. And the new consoles as well. Play PS5, the adaptive triggers, haptic feedback as you're like sneaking around. You could feel like the footsteps in the snow, feel the different triggers for the different weapons you're using, your silencer, a little bit of kickback, like your goggle. Oh, I would live for it. I would just play that for the rest of my life.
Would you change anything?
I think I would add a couple of new areas. Because in that game there was a lot of backtracking. But it was, I think, a limitation of the consoles and stuff at the time rather than an artistic like limitation. I'd like to see a couple of new areas. I'd like to see them redo all the VR missions stuff that they used to do. They used to have that like separate mode where you could go in and play these missions and like test out your sneaking skills and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that turned into like a multiplayer type thing where you like almost Fall Guys it, so you're like all in a team and you're all running the same thing, like, but on separate screens, and it's whoever does it the most stealthy wins like the points and stuff.
Or like speed trials.
Yeah, it's like speed trials. Whoever can do it with like that would be amazing.
What if you could do it in VR?
Or do it in VR
with all the little squares and like how they do the virtual environment and everything. I really liked those VR missions. That was fun back then. I would love to play a remastered Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I would love to see them redo, because I mean they already stretched the boundaries of what the console could do at that time. I feel they did a really good job of interweaving the what do you want to call it, the videos, like the actual, like the cutscenes. That's the word I was looking for. With the gameplay and everything like that. I'd love to see the Psycho Mantis fight redone again in like higher definition, and maybe make the whole trickery that he does during the fight a little longer, you know, or maybe make it like with the new, back then when they did it, you had to like unplug the controller and replug it in, and it was some of the weird things. But with today's age, you could probably have it almost where like it turned off the Xbox, or at least fake turned off the Xbox or something like that, or the game system. You could kind of stretch it a little bit, or maybe if you had your phone was hooked up on the Xbox app, it would make your phone ring. You know what I mean? And it would be like you would answer the call, and it would be a pre-recorded thing, being like Psycho Mantis, being like, get off the phone or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they would do it.
Throw my phone out the window. I'd be like, these bitches are hacking me. And I would yeet that shit. I would be terrified. Burn the house down.
The actual fight with the Metal Gear would be also amazing. Yeah. Remastered, I think.
I just think, like, with the controllers these days, like going back to the Psycho Mantis thing, and we'll stick with PlayStation 5, stick with what I know. I've not played the Series X yet. I can't make any comments and stuff, but adaptive triggers. Yeah. They could do a thing where they froze the triggers, so you wouldn't be able to pull the triggers. So you can't aim, you can't shoot. Like, they could use the haptics in it to, like, make you different sensations and stuff, or like turn the controller off, like, because it's obviously wireless, like, or it could reassign the controller to a different character, like, so you end up controlling Meryl, like, instead, like, just swap things around. Do the fake shutdown thing, that would be really funny, like putting your PlayStation into rest mode. Like, they could do all sorts of things, like,
you've totally got the line I think I was going. Did they ever release it for Xbox? Did they release any of the Metal Gear games for Xbox, or was it always a Sony exclusive?
So Sons of Liberty came to Xbox, but like maybe like maybe a year or two after it released on PlayStation. It was called Substance. There you go, Solid 2 Substance. And then Metal Gear Solid 3 I don't think came to Xbox until later when they released the HD remastered trilogy. Okay. But originally, it was just a Sony exclusive. So yeah, I'd love to see that. I think there's so many things that they could do. I just have this image of the moment where you meet Grey Wolf, the cyborg ninja, and he's all like camouflage and stuff, and he's got his like sword and he chops up all the guys, like just kind of like seeing him come out of camouflage and stuff in today's technology. I think I'd lose my load everywhere. I'd be like, clean up an aisle, me.
That game back years ago, it gave you such an emotional response when you were playing it, and I think that they could very much easily carry that over. I mean, the whole take like the Death Stranding, you know, kind of like super great storyline, like how to put it, design, and then transfer it over to Metal Gear Solid and just make it this epic long game. I mean, because they could, like you said, just add some new areas to it and just flesh it out a little bit, and they can make it longer without having to change the storyline very much.
I just wanted to point out, Digital Monkey in the chat said that they did do a remake to some degree with Twin Sakes on the GameCube, but it's awful. They added a load of new stuff in there. They like re-filmed a lot of the scenes and stuff, and just like, I don't know, it just wasn't I didn't think it was a very good remake. I don't want them to change that much. Just get David Hayter back, get the original like voice crew back to re-record all the lines and everything else. Don't change anything in terms of story. Like, there was certain scenes where they extended the scenes and like added things into it, but it was that kind of like just didn't work. It's almost like when you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League against the Joss Whedon one. Like the Twin Snakes was the Joss Whedon one. Like, you want the true cut, the Kojima cut of it.
Kojima cut.
Yeah. No, I'd be down for that all over. That'd be fucking awesome.
Well, I think we got time. Should we do a group spin?
Yeah. Okay, let's do a group spin. Okay, so spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
No, we've already had that game. Okay, the first game is the Mass Effect Trilogy.
Okay.
Re-release. Because if they remaster it, they'll screw it up.
The second one
with better endings.
Final Fantasy VII.
Delete it.
And the last game is...
We're not even waiting for the picks.
Perfect Dark.
Okay, so... I mean, I've never played Perfect Dark. What's Perfect Dark? What's a Perfect Dark? Tell me.
Perfect Dark is originally an N64 game. You play a female secret agent that goes through and solves a bunch of problems, and you get a bunch of cool tech stuff. It's basically, do you remember 007, like the James Bond
Yeah,
game? It's that, but female character and different storyline, pretty much.
I was going to say it's like James Bond, but with boobs.
Yeah. It was fun, though. I enjoyed it.
Were they triangles?
Yeah.
Back then it were, yeah.
Lara Croft style, like PlayStation 2.
They only knew how to do one type of boobies back then, apparently. Like, it's all right, boys. I know all about boobies. They're triangles. It's fine.
Yeah. That's how we draw them.
Boys who had never seen boobies.
All boobies have sharp edges.
I am a booby expert. They're like this.
Well, I'm gonna put my thing out on the cards now. I'm gonna say
Please don't.
for delete Final Fantasy VII.
I mean, I am with you on Final Fantasy VII only because I have never played it. I tried to get into it once, and it's just JRPGs just aren't my thing.
We can delete the original because they've re-released it, so then there's still at least a version of it out in the wild.
I mean, I'm all for deleting all of them.
I mean,
let's just double down and delete every Final Fantasy ever. All of them.
I think that would just cause the collapse of Square Enix. I think it would just be done.
I'm gonna say delete Final Fantasy VII for two reasons. One, it's already
I've deleted it. It's off the list.
In the middle of its remake cycle anyway, so they're already doing it. And for two, like if they were gonna remake it, God knows how many fucking sections and parts they'd be selling it off in.
Oh God!
Like part one would probably be split in half.
Chapter 1 and chapter 1.5 for $40.
Ugh, I can't be dealing with that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're left with Mass Effect and Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Perfect Dark remaster because we can draw, first of all, we can draw female characters apparently a lot better nowadays than we used to be able to. And, you know, and I don't remember the character's name. Like it wasn't like Lara Croft for the Tomb Raider games. I can't remember what Perfect Dark character's name was, but
Beardy's on it.
We love like sneaky around spy type games, and I think there's enough of the old generations that played it back when I was on 64 that if they remastered it, I think they get a lot of people trying it out, and
her name was
it'd be fun.
Jonah Dark.
Jonah Dark. Yeah.
Sorry, Joanna. Jonah? Why did I say Jonah? It's Joanna.
Yeah, Joanna Dark. That makes sense now.
Jonah.
So, Jonah. That's the gender twist game of it. Jonah Dark.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I'm cool with it.
Gender bender Halloween outfit.
I'm alright with that.
I'll go with delete Final Fantasy VII because even though I love the game, I'm never going to play it again. So I guess it can go away. I have the memories; it doesn't have to exist anymore.
Yeah.
And
we're fine, thanks. Fuck off.
Yeah. The Mass Effect trilogy, man, I would love a full remaster of them, and they're working on it. I guess like that's part of it right now.
Yeah, the Legendary pack comes out in May, doesn't it?
I want the remake
with all the lens flares you've never wanted.
Yeah, I want the remake. I want them to redo it from the ground up, like every single game, just to be visually on par with each other. And I want them to do it where you can play all three games individually, but if you play them in order, like as one game finishes, it leads directly into the next one rather than have to like cancel out and start a new game and all that kind of stuff.
They should make it
with
that
all the DLCs.
Yeah. If they make it where you play through all three of them and they make it seamless, which I would love, I think that would be great. They didn't do that with some of the other games, and they're not doing it with the Legendary version of it. But I would love it if it just was seamless. And then if you played them all with your original character from 1 through 3, you got like a special ending at the end. Because like a dedication to playing all three of them, keeping your same character, keeping on the same storyline. Maybe you finally do get that, you know, Shepard actually saved everybody at the ending.
I was gonna say,
an ending that makes sense.
You get option D for the ending.
Yeah. The one that everybody wanted. You know, whatever.
The purple one.
The purple one. Yeah. I always pick the synthetic one because that seemed to be the easiest one for the world universe.
I always end up going with the synthetic one, but I feel dirty about it because I'm like, that's not
but
my
it makes
choice to make for everybody. Like the whole point of the fucking universe is free will, and I'm just overriding everybody's free will.
you're
But then the
already
other option is killing all the synthetic
you're
people. Like
you're
fuck you, Geff.
already
Fuck you, Edie.
you're already doing that though. You're stopping the Reapers, culling of the universe. Like they're a large universal organism that, eats on the planets in the universe and stuff like that. So if we're stopping them, we're already disrupting the natural cycle of sorts.
Yeah, but they started it, so it's fine. I don't feel bad about that.
They threw the first stone.
They hit me first.
Leviathan's a dick.
They hit me first.
Yeah, and I'd also, if they're gonna remake the Mass Effect trilogy, get us those options in to begin with. Give us those queer romances to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Not leaving it till was it the third game before we actually got them properly?
Oh, the boy
No,
romances.
you could do male romances in 2, I believe.
Oh, could
Because
you?
you could be with Caden, I believe. I thought.
Ah, yes, no, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
I
just
always
everybody
murder
kills
him.
Caden. I always kill them, so that's not going to happen. My favorite. I had a shepherd that I went through that was this silver fox with like the beard and like silver hair. He was like an older shepherd. That was the game I went completely renegade through, and it was so much fun. So much fun. It was just this badass like older shepherd being just like, no, I'm done with it.
I'm
I'm
too
over
old
this
for
shit.
this shit.
Mm-hmm.
In our remaster of Mass Effect, though, we are going to have the Citadel DLC because in this world, they didn't like break the base code and lose it forever.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to have that DLC.
Should be
in
even
this one.
bigger. Citadel should be even bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Like 3 times the size.
It's like such a huge place, and you only get to go to a tiny little part of it.
Mm. And then we explode it anyway.
I'd like to see like a new DLC that runs through the 3 games. Maybe something to do with the Citadel. So like you start in part 1 and it's like little breadcrumb trail, that kind of thing, like something's going on in the Citadel. Maybe it's like that underlying thread that kind of lets you know that there's something not quite right with the Citadel. Because I remember in the first game, that's when you see the keepers. Is it the keepers?
Mm-hmm.
The little weird things. And then later on through the game, there were certain like side quest things that you could go on to like scan them and see what they're up to and like all that kind of stuff. But maybe they could go a little bit further with it. And maybe like you start to see
the keepers from like episode 1, or like game 1, and then having them all through the whole series.
Yeah, and like just keep like bread feeding crumbs through and something, and then like the final mission happens after you realize that the Citadel is part of the Reaper's plan.
I'll be honest, you could just release a game where you just like are a shopkeeper on the Citadel and you just play like a social interaction building game, and I would totally play that.
Yeah. Who remembers that?
Just make it like Destiny. Like that could be the tower where everybody just goes and hangs out and you have a little shop and like that's where your guild sells your shit. I would totally be a shopkeeper on the Citadel. Absolutely.
I feel like game developers don't ever just get around like 10 gamers together and are like, what games would you guys actually like to play? And people are like, I want a shopkeeper simulator in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Really?
Fucking, do you know how much time people spend on Animal Crossing? Like they just want to, sometimes we just want to fucking plant turnips and sell bells.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do in Valheim. Plant turnips, carrots.
Sometimes that's what I want because it's calming. Just let me sell bells.
Anybody got any acorns?
Yeah, but then the stressful thing with that game though is you have Tom Nook coming for your kneecaps because you've not paid your bills, you haven't paid your mortgage.
There needs to be like
fuck Tom
Nook like enforcers, like just bigger raccoons, like in suits.
I'd love to see, like a Five Nights at Freddy's, but with Tom Nook, and like maybe you've escaped the island without paying your debt off, and he's come to hunt you down with his little raccoon mates, and you've gone into hiding in like some sort of technical like skyscraper type thing, and he's there like hunting you down. That'd be fun.
I would play that. I would play that.
Put it on the list for Sif to make. Just got another game to make.
Sif needs to get on that fucking list.
So I'm guessing then does that mean Perfect Dark is just a re-release?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, Llama doesn't have any stake in the game. She hasn't played it. I think it needs to be remastered. I think it'd be a great remaster. I don't think a re-release would be very successful because they've already kind of had some like secondary versions that didn't seem super popular. So I think they would need to just kind of like build it from the ground up again to get any real interest in it. It's an older franchise that not a lot of everybody played.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like if it's going to be remastered, somebody with actual female anatomy probably needs to be involved so that we don't end up with fucking triangle tits again.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a guess.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, they are making a new Perfect Dark, so
They who?
Microsoft. I think is it the Initiative? I think so. Perfect Dark remake.
Microsoft is doing quite a bit to position themselves to be a gaming like powerhouse again here within the next couple of years.
Yes. Yeah. I've been availing myself of the Bethesda catalog on Game Pass.
The Game Pass is starting to become more and more popular, and since we've already live in a subscription world with like Netflix and Hulu and things like that, I really do see a like eventual transition to people paying basically a subscription, and they just play the games when they want to play them and just select them from a catalog and go from there. And since there's people like me, I pay for Game Pass every month, but there's a lot of months I don't play it. So they're just collecting money from me without downloading any new games, you know?
Well,
so
my dad was always like way ahead of his time with this shit. But when I was probably 12 or 13, we had a Sega console and you could download games to play it, and it was like one of the first consoles where you could do that. It was called the Sega
Saturn? No, that was
yes.
Was it Sega Saturn?
I think so. And we had like a satellite.
Still, I think.
Yeah, it still had discs, but we had like a satellite thing, like a satellite link, and we downloaded like the fucking connection was so slow. So slow.
Dial-up probably.
Probably. I think it was. But I think we downloaded Echo the Dolphin. I remember that was the one, like one of the games that we downloaded off of this connection
that game was
service.
hard as shit.
Yeah, I was really upset that we had downloaded it off of this like connection thing. I'm sure it was a Saturn, or was it? I'll have to fucking Google it now.
You do.
But it was one of the. Yeah, I'll do my Googles. But I was so amazed that you could download games as a subscription service, and it never really took off, and it was so slow to download it. But now here we are, like 20 fucking years later, and now it's like the thing. You just have a subscription, you download a game, you play it, you delete it when you're done with it, and download a new game.
So the Perfect Dark is being developed by The Initiative, which is a brand new studio formed at Microsoft Studios. It's their first game that they've made. However, they've got some really good talent in the studio. So it's been run by Darrell Gallagher, who's the former head of Crystal Dynamics. And he's got Daniel Newberg, who was a director of Tomb Raider, Christian Cantamassa, who was a writer of Red Dead Redemption, Drew Murray, who was a director at Sunset Overdrive, Brian Westergaard, he was a lead producer on God of War, and between them, their CVs add up to places like BioWare, Naughty Dog, Respawn, Sony Santa Monica, Blizzard, Insomniac, and Rockstars are all studios that their team's been working at in the past.
Wow.
There's some great talent in that team, to be fair.
That's like an all-star team right there, people. Well, don't screw it up, Initiative.
Yeah. You know? Slots 1980 says, was it the Dreamcast?
Might have been.
It might have been Dreamcast. Dreamcast had an internet connection, and I think that was one of the first ones of the Sega systems that did.
Yeah, because you had to buy the little modem thing that clipped on the side.
I think it might have been. Good call. I think it was a Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah. Or Digimonk says it might have been the Sega Mega Drive CD. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. So I would have been. CD. It would have been like 94, 95. So it would have been like 14 or 15.
Sounds about right.
I'm gonna have to have a look.
Dreamcast come out.
That was a chunky game system, the Dreamcast. I played Power Stone on it, Crazy Taxi. The Sonic games on Dreamcast were really fun.
Yeah. I just remember being real mad that we'd spent for fucking ever downloading Echo the Dolphin and I couldn't fucking play it for shit. I was terrible at it.
So it released in 1999.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't have been that. I was in fucking university by then. Definitely not playing video games then. I was busy.
Busy. Learning.
I was
Education.
busy. Getting beasted. I went to a military university. They didn't let us have video games there.
Not allowed. Shall we tell the folks what else was on the wheel so that they know what the games we had? So I'll go from top to bottom. We had obviously Mass Effect Trilogy. We had Fallout New Vegas. I'm a bit sad that one didn't come up. We had.
I'm glad. I was scared that one was going to come up and I was going to be forced to like fucking delete it.
We had Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I was going to delete that.
BioShock Trilogy, which we covered. Super Mario 64 we covered. Metal Gear Solid, Perfect Dark, Resident Evil 4. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim was another pick. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Delete.
Remaster. Fallout 3. Delete. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. All of the Kingdom Hearts games. The Witcher Trilogy. Guitar Hero were the ones that didn't come up.
Delete.
Yeah, delete those. I'm done.
I don't like games that I have to have extra pieces to be able to play the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those guitars break and then the game is useless. And it's either that or you buy another game.
And I got rid of the guitars already, so I don't want to have to rebuy them. Just get delete.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was fun. Oh,
I finished it.
I would love a remaster of Fallout Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're working on it.
As long as they don't screw it up. Are they doing a remaster of Vegas?
No, they're doing there's rumors. I might have dreamed this. I might be making it up. This might be wishful thinking. I'm sure I read somewhere that Obsidian are working on another Fallout game.
I mean,
Obsidians are the one that did New
Me
Vegas.
because obviously Bethesda and ZeniMax is now under the Microsoft umbrella. And obviously Obsidian made New Vegas, so I think it'd be a huge win for Microsoft if they did a Fallout New Vegas 2.
I
don't know if it's a New Vegas 2 or if it's just another Fallout game. Yeah. But I'm sure they're working on another Fallout game of some description. I'm sure I read that, or I made it up, or I dreamed it.
A remaster done by Xbox or by Microsoft would be great, but even if it's just a 2, because they could start with a whole new storyline and they wouldn't have to try to pigeonhole the old storyline into what they would be doing in the remaster, because the old storyline was damn near perfect. And especially if you add all the DLC parts to it and everything like that. I really liked learning about that part of the Fallout world on the West Coast, because a lot of the games are more either in the middle of the country or the East Coast. So it was really nice to hear about all the California stuff that you get all the hints of in the other games, but this is the game you actually get to play out there. And I like that Vegas was the only city that like survived. And so I would take a second edition of it or a remaster, either one. Number 2.
Yeah, they did. There was a fan-made DLC that came out a couple months ago and then very quickly died a death because it turned out to be terrible. Problematic. It was not good. So I guess we're just waiting on Obsidian to put us out of our misery and make something amazing.
I think it'd be interesting because the guys that run Obsidian, they were the original creators of Fallout, weren't they? So it'd be very interesting to see if Bethesda keeps hold of its Fallout franchises or whether it gets given back to the original creators.
I mean, it's a big old universe, and they've made it such a fucking huge universe. You could, I'd love to see what's happening in the rest of the world. I want to see, what's happening back home. Give me a fucking Fallout New Orleans. Take me down south in the swamps. You could do some amazing stuff down there. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Or, what's happening in Europe? What's happening
I was about to say,
we talk about China. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout UK.
You know, there's
would
all
be cool.
sorts of
Yeah.
stuff that you could do. There's enough room in the universe that you could, you know, there's enough lore that you could set up a framework and there's room for both.
Well,
I'd like to see it.
unlike a lot of the video game franchises, with Fallout, you have a wide historical time period that you can start near the beginning or near the end. I mean, you can be like right before the bombs, you know, everything dropped, or right after and you're in the vault. I mean, what if they made one where the entire game is just in the vault and make it like a scary thriller game where it's a big vault and you never actually get out of the vault because that's the game. You're in the vault for those 100 years or whatever. That would be an interesting bent on it for like a side game.
Yeah. Like a Dead Space sort of something's gone terribly wrong and you get a hide.
In the vault.
And they could do it like procedural generated.
And
But
the
like
very
every
end
time
of
you
the
play,
game,
the vault's different. Like everything changes.
and if
I
you
don't
succeed,
like that.
you could have it where it opens up the vault, and then that's where the game ends. Is the light coming in and the vault ends, and then this way you could be almost like you're the vault of any of the different games because you're the main character now stepping out. You know, but I would love to see a Florida, New Orleans. You know, UK would be great. Yeah, and they could do it for any time period too. Such a good series. I hope the new version of it that they're working on comes out.
Yep. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our topic for the show. So there's only one thing for me to ask, Llama. What have you been playing?
With myself mostly.
Yeah.
I haven't got that Love Honey. I haven't got that Love Honey subscription. Single player. Double clicking my own mouse.
Get your minds out together.
We haven't got that Love Honey subscription yet. I've been working on it, but nothing, no moss.
Well, we did get signed up to Love Honey, so whatever wonderful person.
Yes.
We're looking at some of you.
We got the newsletter.
You viewers signed us up to the newsletter.
Thank you.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. So I've been playing Control still. Still loving that game. I love the atmosphere in that game. It's the right amount of creepy that I can play without pissing on my sofa.
There's only so many times. There's only so many times you can...
Oh, sorry.
How many times have you blamed that on the dog?
Don't question me. The dog pisses on the sofa a lot. My wife doesn't watch this. It's fine.
What was you saying? What was your...
I was just asking how much of the auto aim are you using on Control? Because I found like with the control settings, I needed to have more auto aim on than I thought to be able to hit fairly well.
Yeah, I've got it up to about half, I guess, on the auto aim. And I put Immortal on because I was just dying a fucking lot.
Well, then you can just enjoy the storyline, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what tends to happen is the enemy, even with the Immortal on, is the enemies turn up and I just lose my shit.
Right.
Because it scares me. And I'm doing a bit of this and like my aims, even with the auto aim, I'm like, fuck it. And I'm just going everywhere and I'm like dragging things towards me and throwing them at the wall in front of my face. And like, if I didn't have Immortal on, I'd be killing myself. And like, it's just, I panic because the game scares me. So I've put Immortal on mainly to stop me from suiciding myself during the game, which has helped. I don't do that anymore, although I keep forgetting. And then when the screen goes all red, I'm like, oh no, I'm still alive. However, I can still die. I am not immortal, despite the name. I have managed to kill myself on a number of occasions by falling down lift shafts, elevator shafts. You do have to still push the button and call the elevator. You can't just jump down to the next floor. That's just, I mean, I've got shit to do. I don't have time to push buttons. It said immortal on the button. It said press this button to be immortal. That feels like a lie. Call it mostly immortal or like you won't die most of the time, not immortal. Like it's a lie. So I've been playing that. Of course, been playing Outriders. Was playing the demo with that. I haven't played it since it's gone live. Just because I've been busy with stuff. at home, trying to finish up the book I've been working on in the audiobook booth. So I've been playing Outriders with you guys. That was fun. And Beat Saber. So I got my Oculus Quest 2, which has been super fucking fun. And I have been mostly getting my ass beat on Beat Saber. I've been playing online, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, which is no great surprise to anybody. But I go on, and like I think I've got the settings set so that like I'm not going on to like expert mode, because an expert I am not. And I go in, and there's like 5 other people, because it's like 6 people I think when you go online. And I've got my little character. I'm ready to go, and I'm looking around, and then the song comes on, and I swear to God, it's like on hard mode, because there's like blocks coming in every different direction, and then like they change colors. Suddenly they're like green and purple, and I'm like, no, red and blue. That's what we've been practicing, is red and blue. And then the arrows disappear as they get closer to me, and I'm like, well, hang on. And then they're coming at me from different directions, and I did not sign up to any of this shit. And then I'm panicking again. I panic a lot. This is a theme, and I don't know how to stop it. So I just press the button that takes me back to my little home, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just go back to my little home and quit Beat Saber, and then I have to go back into it. So I'm learning. There's one song that's my favorite. It's called the Cat Song.
Oh yeah.
And I like it because it's just like, I feel like I'm just pushing stuff off of counters, and like I'm just waving my hand like the little good luck cat, and I'm like, knock things off, knock things off, knock things off, knock things off. It's my favorite song.
I love Beat Saber. I'm gonna send you the 30-day Beat Saber challenge.
Do it, because I'm doing it every day. I'm doing at least half an hour every day. Fucking loving it.
So much fun.
Absolutely loving it.
But what have you been playing?
Well, now I want to play Beat Saber.
Do it.
My friend has an Oculus Quest, and I'll have to have him bring his over here so that we can give that a shot maybe sometime. Certainly sounds fun, and any excuse for video gaming and exercise, I'm totally on board for. For me playing, I have been playing Valheim a lot with my online friend Hecto, and we've been accepting that game. He goes by Slambian, which is, I don't know. He's weird with character names.
I hate when my online friends change their name in different platforms. I'm like, keep your name. It's weird.
I've been Batuus for like 20 years, so like I've never changed it, and he changes his like every other month, and so Slambian is it right now, which is fun. And we play Vikings and we play Valheim, and it's a blast. We killed the 4th boss in the game. Very like Dead Souls, like Dark Souls. Dead Souls, Dark Souls.
Dead Souls. Almost there.
Soul does die a little bit when you play it.
So
yeah. And so we're having a lot of fun. We built a little like house on one of the more dangerous islands, and we've been taming wolves lately, which is a lot of fun because you can have these wolves follow you around and kill things. This game, though, when a troll comes out of the forest and its club is breaking the trees as it comes out of the forest and it's chasing you, it is like very scary, and not like scary jump scare, more of like, I don't know, like big boss
shit's gonna get real.
Yeah, it's gonna get real. And you're just going like most of the time the audio for our game could be summed up to just oh fuck as you're just running around trying not to die, like no, damn it. And then you have to come back and get your stuff. And it's really bad when you've sailed really far away on one of the big Viking ships, and you have to sail all the way back to go get your stuff. But it's a blast. I recommend it. It's still in early access. It's only $20 on Steam. Fantastic game. And they're going to keep putting out new stuff for it. Definitely recommend people to try it out. It's like Minecraft and Skyrim put together.
Ooh.
Yeah, good. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. And I've been working on D&D stuff for the podcast, The World of Cetera, and hopefully Tiggs, Llama, and Sif can get into that sometime soon again. That should be fun. And I really want to play Outriders. I've got to get around to downloading it and trying it out. Everybody seems to be having a fun time with it. So that's probably next on my list to give a shot.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely fun.
Mm-hmm. Too many games to play, too little time.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
that's the
sure.
problem.
How about you, Beardy? What are you playing?
So I've been playing a little bit of Bloodborne on my stream. I think we're very close to the end now, so it might be the very first Soulsborne game that I will be completing, which is exciting.
Ooh.
Although I'm on the wet nurse boss, yeah, it's fucked. It's very
Wet
fucked up.
nurse.
Yeah. So I need to kind of get my head around how I'm gonna beat that boss because she nasty. She kind of looks like a big old cockroach thing with like lots of arms, but at the end of the
Stop.
at the end of the arms
No.
there's like scythes, and she just kind of like will get close to you and be like and like kind of like slash you. Yeah, it's not nice. It's not cool. Which I can deal with. The bit I can't seem to get my head around is the fact she like casts this spell thing where everything around me goes red, and then she clones herself, but you don't know where I couldn't like work out where the clone thing was coming to attack from. So I'm like wailing on what I thought is the main boss, and then all of a sudden this clone thing jumps out and just one shots me. So yeah, that's fun. The other thing I've been playing is some Pokemon. Still doing my shiny hunts, hatching my eggs, still hunting down shiny Regirock. I think we're on like 2026 encounters now or something ridiculous.
What's your favorite shiny you got?
So far it's my Dreepy. He's so cute. And I managed to hatch a shiny Hatina. And I'm working on a shiny Impidimp. So we'll see what happens there. And then the other thing I've been playing a lot of, and like you're gonna rip me for this, is the Marvel's Avengers. So after we did our preview thing and I slated it for being shitty and not very good and terrible and everything else, I picked up when it was on sale a few weeks ago, just before the Clint stuff dropped, and decided just to give it a go. And surprisingly, I am having an absolute fucking blast with it. I really enjoy it. And I've just about hit level cap on Hawkeye. He's been my main at the minute. And I'm just loving it. So I apologize.
So are you gonna issue? Yeah, you're gonna issue a full apology to them.
I'm gonna send a letter of apology to Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics and everybody else that worked on that game after I trash talked it so much and then started playing it. But it is good. I will stand by, like, it's not perfect, and I would also say if anybody's gonna pick it up, don't pick it up full price. Get it on a discount between $20 and $25/dollars or whatever it is. As cheap as you can get it. Because it's worth that much. It's not worth the full £60 or $70 or whatever it is they want to charge for it. And if you can play it on next gen, play it on next gen, because the load times and everything else is cut down to like seconds. I can go from my dashboard to being in the game within like 12 seconds or something ridiculous, which for an online MMO style thing is just mind-blowing. When it took like 2 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes on base PS4 when we were playing the demo for me to go from like launching the game to actually getting into whatever it was that we were playing.
And you spent that whole time seething.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll show up on the Game Pass or anything?
I'm not sure. At this point, I kind of feel like they've got two options with it, really. They need to either kind of go free to play, and maybe kind of go like, if you want to just play online and do these things and stuff, then it's free to play. But if you want the campaign and to unlock all the characters and everything else, then you need to buy the actual game itself. I don't know. I think they've kind of got themselves between a rock and a hard place. Because it's not like Destiny. So when Destiny went free to play, like, obviously it'd been out for a few years and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, we're not even the end of year one for Avengers. But I think they need to up their content rollout. They need to get something out at least every month, new missions and all that kind of stuff, because I think that's one of the biggest complaints. and just keep building those character rosters out. I think they need to have a new character at least every 6 months. But we'll see what
Probably
happens.
See, so yeah, they can drop a new character in, and that keeps it fresh. Yeah.
So at the minute with Clint's story is just kind of wrapped. There's another thing coming later on in the year, which I think is going to be the actual finish to that storyline. The next big expansion is going to be War for Wakanda. So Black Panther's coming into it. They're adding the whole area of Wakanda and new enemies and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. There it goes. But if you can get it on sale and you can get it on next gen, by all means, get it and you'll enjoy yourself.
Cool.
Yeah, you definitely owe them an apology.
Yeah. Sorry about it.
Because you slated that.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been your delete.
But to be fair, like, I think Clint is the reason why I'm enjoying it so much, because I really like his combat style. So for anybody that doesn't know the Avengers or whatever, Clint Barton is your archer guy. He's got a samurai sword, and his moveset is very much balanced between archery and kind of close combat.
Okay.
And he's got some really cool moves and stuff, and I think he's got a really good moveset, and I enjoy playing him. He's the only character that I've got to level 15. He's the only one that I'm almost to get to max power of 150 as well. I'm like 1 point away from it, which I'll probably finish tonight. The rest of them are just kind of like where I left them in their respective stories.
I mean, look, I know what it is to love a game that's trash and still love it anyway, so...
Yeah.
I mean, Todd Howard took my money.
Fallout 76. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
I think it does. That was fun. I like the Wheel of Fortune. We should do that again.
Yeah.
You're going to need to save that wheel, and we're going to have to figure out another way to use it, because that was fun.
Yeah, well, it's rare, ready to be used, so...
We should make it like a Tiggs one, where it's like fact check Tiggs, and it's just a bunch of different things to fact check Tiggs on, and then we just spin the
wheel. the fucking wheel would be spinning all episode though, and just keep going like
true or false the whole time.
Tiggs in the chat. Oh, shade. Cool.
Nothing
well,
but love, Tiggs.
Thank you very much for all of you joining us this evening. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Gaymers Assemble, spelt Gaymers, because we're super gay, and then Assemble just spelt correctly, because there isn't really a way that we can make that gay unless we put ass in capitals, I guess. I don't know.
It's already got us.
Yeah.
Yes.
We shall be back on Friday with a news roundup, and then again next Sunday with some podcasty stuff. So make sure you drop us a follow, hit the notification bell so you know that when we go live, and you can not miss out on us talking shit for an hour and 20 minutes.
It's mostly just shit that we talk.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Say goodnight, bot.
Good night, Beardy.
Say goodnight, llama.
Good night, llama.
Ta-ra!
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.